Hi guys, the reason I'm making this video is to share an unfortunate incident that happened to one of my friend and it really disturbed me. So a few days back I met one of my friend Shrishti and since we saw each other after a couple of months, so we had many things to talk. So we decided to go into this new restaurant and after ordering our food, we started to talk and trying to catch up on things that we missed. Everything was going just fine, but then Shrishti told me something about our other common friend Radhika that really took me by shock and really made me sad. Shrishti told me that Radhika was finding very hard going to her new office and the reason was her boss. So I was like, okay, about Radhika. Radhika was my classmate, a really brilliant student. She used to get rank in the class. She used to participate in all those debate competitions, sports activities, and come back with these trophies and prizes. We used to call her all-rounder. I still remember that day when our class teacher asked us what we want to become in our life, and Radhika told that I want to be this big business executive like CEO and or big business woman and make my father proud. Now that was really nice, thinking so independent at that age, and she was already halfway to her dream because right after completion of her schooling and graduation, she did MBA from mid-level management college, depending on the fees her father could afford. So after completion of MBA, she got this job in local reputed firm from the campus recruitment itself, and she was very excited about it. We were really happy for her because she worked very hard for this and she really deserved it all. So now that's what we thought was going on in her life. That's what we thought. But on the other day when Shrishti told me all about this, so I was like, okay, this happens. New office, new boss. Everybody has to go through this phase. But she told me that things were far more worse than this. As Radhika was new in the firm, she was placed under this Mr. Ghosh to learn how to prepare reports, how to analyze those numbers in the reports, how to present them before executives, and she was learning it quite well. But in this learning period, Radhika noticed that Mr. Ghosh was paying more attention onto her breast than looking into the reports she prepared. Once he even accidentally brushed past his hands onto her breast. And I was like, okay, she must have complained about it. Like she should have complained about it. But apparently she did not. And I cannot think of any reason why she did not complain about this or talk about this to anyone. And this was her biggest mistake because now Mr. Ghosh would frequently touch her inappropriately because since Radhika did not do anything against it, it was all with her consent according to Mr. Ghosh. That's what he thought. And one day he even tried to sexually harass her in his office. And I was really shocked to know this. And Radhika came back all crying and she still had no idea what to do because she thought that her character would be judged. She would lose the job because Mr. Ghosh was a very much respectable person in the organization. And she called up Shrishti and told this. And when Shrishti told me, I was really sad about it. But the most shocking thing in this whole incident for me was after telling all this, Shrishti told me that this happened. Like she told me this happens. ऐसा ही होता है यार, क्या कर सकते हैं? And I was like, no, this should not happen. When she told ऐसा ही होता है, this was running in my mind. And this made me realize and question myself and now to everyone that is this part of every working female's life? I mean, the question I am trying to ask here is, are we really accepting sexual harassment at workplace? No, I do not accept it and I am raising voice against it. Against people like Mr. Ghosh. To Mr. Ghosh and people like Mr. Ghosh, I just want to ask you that how difficult it is for you to understand that anyone working under you is not your property. How difficult it is for you to understand that anyone working under you is not you cannot exploit just because you felt flow of emotion in your body. How difficult it is for you to act like a human. I just wish that you don't see your daughter or your wife or your sister sitting here and sharing her nightmare about some other ghost, and I cannot imagine how would you gather courage to do something about someone who is just like you.